Have you struggled to set up a Traefik-based home lab? Then Deployarr might come in handy. Deployarr is a script that automates home lab setup. Here's the link to the page that describes what it does. In short, it is a script that automates Traefik, Authelia, Google OAuth, Plex, Jellyfin, Star apps like Radar, Sonar, BitTorrent with Gluten VPN client, Sub and ZBD, and 40 plus similar apps. When I started Deployarr back in 2023 September, it was called Auto Traefik and it only did 2 apps, Socket Proxy and Traefik. Today, there are over 40 apps and I continue to expand the library. Let's first see how Deployarr works, and then at the end of the video, I will answer some frequently asked questions, so stick around for that. This video is meant to be a quick introduction to Deployarr and what it does. I do plan on making a full video on Deployarr that will explain everything in detail. So if you want to know or learn what Deployarr does, watch out for that video. When it's published, I will put a link in the description below. Okay, here I am on the main menu of Deployarr. Key announcements come right to the main menu. There is also a description of how the script works. If this is annoying, you can turn off these notifications. Deployarr is organized in a very logical way. First, you set up a strong framework using Docker, Socket Proxy, Traefik, and Authentication. Everything is automated, including Traefik Setup, SSL certificates, Authelia, Google OAuth. All you have to do is answer some questions along the way. Once you accept the disclaimer and answer some basic questions about your setup, all using the GUI, you can run some checks. Are your ports available for Traefik to use? Is your port forwarding working correctly? Are your DNS records on Cloudflare correct? Is your firewall interfering with Traefik functionality? All of this can be checked, and when all the checks pass, then you're ready for Traefik. This is a free feature that anyone can use. No registration is needed. Just download the script and use it. And if you plan to register for a free account, you can do so from the About menu, and that will give you the basic license with some added functionality or privileges. You can set up Docker environment just as I described in my Docker Media Server guide, with all the files and folders and with right permissions in just seconds. Then you can move on to install Socket Proxy, preparing your server for Traefik with all files, folders, permissions. And you can stage Traefik to make sure that it works, and then you can switch to production and get your real SSL certificates. If something goes wrong along the way, Deployarr will error out and tell you what might be causing the issue. But if all goes well, then you will have a beautiful Traefik dashboard with basic HTTP authentication. Now, we all know that basic HTTP authentication is not very secure, so fear not. Deployarr allows you to set up Authelia and Google OAuth as well very quickly. Once you have this framework established, then you have a whole list of apps that you can quickly scroll through and install. As you can see on the screen, some of the apps are already installed and running. You even see the version number of the apps. Go through the list and install as many apps as you would like. You can even add apps that are not on this list, but that will be covered in my longer Deployarr tutorial that will come out very shortly. In Deployarr, I have tried to automate as many things as possible and make the whole setup as lean as possible. For example, any app that requires a database like Nextcloud will use an existing database service and not create a new one for its own use. Vault Warden, for example, the admin page is automatically set up. Guacamole, which is one of the very cumbersome apps to set up even using Docker, is fully automated. I even have tried to include workarounds for some common issues. For example, BitTorrent sometimes does not log in with the default username and password. I have included an automatic fix for that. Once everything looks as you want, you can run a backup right from the script. Then you can continue to mess around, and if something goes wrong, just restore the backup you made and you are back to where you were. There is even an option to migrate the whole setup to a new system. Just move the migration package, restore it on the new system, and you are back to where you were on your old system. There are a few advanced and convenience features. Stack Manager allows you to manage your entire stack, adding apps behind Traefik, managing authentication systems, I will leave all of these things for my full tutorial on Deployarr. Then you have the settings menu and the about menu that customize the way the script looks and works. And if you like it or don't like it, you can even submit the feedback right from the menu. If something goes wrong, all supporters have access to a dedicated Discord channel where you can reach out for support and help. As you can see, Deployarr makes setting up Traefik and several other apps very easy. Now it's time to answer some of the frequently asked questions. The first one is a very big one. What is the purpose of Deployarr? I want to be very clear upfront that Deployarr does have some management features, but it is not intended to manage your home lab. It simplifies installing various apps and creates a strong and coherent framework based on my Docker guides that you can use to build your own home lab. The next question is, why did I create Deployarr? The concept of Deployarr is not new. For those of you who have followed my work for over 15 years may know Atomic Toolkit. Atomic Toolkit automates the setup of a huge list of apps natively on Linux. I stopped developing it when I moved to a Docker-based home server in 2018. So I would say Deployarr is an evolution of Atomic Toolkit, but it incorporates my experience from the last 6 years of using Docker and Traefik. Why is Deployarr not free? Or at least some parts of it. Due to the recent changes Google has made in their search algorithm, traffic to my website, which has been in existence for over 15 years, has tanked. I'm not the only one going through this. I've explained the situation in detail in my State of the Site article that I published last year in 2023. For me to continue doing what I love doing, I had to think out of the box, so I started memberships, which I have resisted for many years. I have to appreciate all the support that I have received from the community so far. Deployarr is meant to be a perk for my supporters. All the contributions I get goes towards creating more content, more YouTube videos. As I have explained in my YouTube videos, I spend 15 times more on editing costs than what YouTube ads make for me. With everything going on, like constantly updating my setup, writing articles about it on my website, updating my GitHub repository, supporting people on my Discord server, developing the Deployarr script, and now making YouTube videos. The only way I can sustain this is by hiring someone to edit the videos. But keep in mind that everything that Deployarr does can be learned and replicated using the guides on my website. This leads me to my next question. Why is Deployarr not open source? As I said before, Deployarr is meant to be a perk for my supporters. To verify their support status, I have to pass some sensitive information. This means, unfortunately, I have to compile the script into a binary. I know some people are against black box scripts for valid reasons. What I can tell you is that so far nearly 400 domains have used the script, and you can check some of the feedback I have received so far. Plus, I have designed Deployarr to be fully compatible with my guides, so what my guides and GitHub say is what Deployarr does and vice versa. At the end of the day, you have to decide whether you want to trust someone who's been doing this for 15 years or not. Last question, what platforms and operating systems are supported? Deployarr is tested on Ubuntu, but it also works on Debian. It also works on Raspberry Pi. Just make sure that you download the ARM version of the script. There has been a few requests from the community on supporting Synology devices. My Synology Docker Traefik guide follows the exact same structure, so I do plan to update the script for Synology devices at some point. I'm just waiting for Synology to update their Docker package, which is several years old at this point. Okay, that's it everyone. I hope this video gave you a preview of what Deployarr is and what it can do. If you have any unanswered questions, leave them in the comments below and I will answer them. If you feel like supporting my work, check it out and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, watch the follow-up video, which is going to be a full tutorial on Deployarr so you can use all of the features to their full potential. Alright, that's it for today. I will see you in my next video. Take it easy, Geek Army.